Hello financial investors and welcome to the channel. In today's video we are going to be doing our M1 Finance Roth IRA buys of the week. Today is the 24th of August 2020, so we're officially in the full last week of August already. Next week we're going to be hitting September, which is crazy. So in today's video we're going to start off by taking a look at stock futures. It is a little over 1 in the morning right now, about 1:30 in the morning, so the market will be opening here very shortly. You can see some headlines as far as blue chip stocks. Then we're going to go ahead and jump over into the M1 Finance portfolio, take a look at the performance for this past week. The indexes themselves were pretty positive this past week. My portfolio got hit pretty hard. We'll go ahead and cover what stocks were actually negative this past week. Why was the portfolio disconnected from the markets? And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the total portfolio, where it's at, and take a look at the activity and what stocks we're going to be buying today. So if you are brand new to my channel, have not yet subscribed, definitely hit subscribe down below. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, and of course drop me a comment down below. Let me know what stocks you're planning on purchase. Are you buying still? Are you not buying? Where do you think this market's going to be going this week? Last week, there's nowhere else to go but up, with all the interest rates kind of going down. Fed's flooding the market with easy capital. People have nowhere else to put their capital besides the stock market, so stocks are going up. So it's kind of interesting, but let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think this week is going to be doing for the week of the 24th through the 28th of August 2020. So that's it. Let's go ahead and start off our video. So right now, if I hit refresh, stock futures are still positive. S&P up 0.57%, the NASDAQ up 0.81%, and the Dow Jones up 0.61%. So right off the bat, the futures actually look pretty positive going into Monday. It's going to be pretty positive, kind of kicking it off in the morning, and then we'll see how the rest of the day goes on. Now, right now, overseas markets are open over in England. They're up 1.5%. Germany up 1.56%. So pretty positive overseas as well. So that could be good. The China market should be open here shortly. We'll check back on this page as we get towards the end of our video, and we'll kind of take a look at where stuff has progressed. Of course, if you guys haven't checked out my channel in the past, I cover the stock market, dividends, and real estate. And let's go ahead and jump over into the M1 Finance account now. So as far as the activity for this past week, we'll start off with the activity first, because there was very minimal activity. We did our Monday buys last week. We had quite a few dividends get paid out last week, and we made our Monday buy. But just this past week, there was only one stock that got paid out, and that was Caterpillar. Ticker symbol CAT, which paid out $5.99. Then we made our deposit there of $50.23. We actually have just a little less than $1,000 remaining to max out our funding for 2020. So with less than $1,000 to go for these remaining 3 months, that's about $333 deposited every month for the next 3 months in order to max out our Roth IRA. Well, this is my wife's Roth IRA, Verena. If you guys haven't checked out her channel, Verena also has her own channel, Verena Simona, over on the family and friends area here on the tab. So this is her portfolio. She actually discusses stocks, dividends on her own channel as well. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'll have a link down in the description below. Okay. So as far as the overall portfolio, we can see here that we actually lost a little bit last week. This is all money weighted, so it's up 22.99%. We've actually earned quite a bit of dividends. Now, of the earned dividends, we've only been paid out a little over $1,200, but that is $1,200 that we didn't have to go out and add into this portfolio. The Roth IRA has a yearly contribution limit of $6,000 if you're below 50, I believe. And then if you're over 50, you can contribute an additional $1,000 to a max of $7,000. Well, this year, we'll just take a look at the quarter performance. This is kind of like a quarterly basis. There's an additional, we're entering the 9th month here next week. So we've already gone through 3 quarters. So every quarter, this portfolio generates anywhere from, say, $200 to $245 of dividends. If we say, for example, $230 over the past 3 quarters, say we've earned $230 per quarter. That's an additional that's additional capital that we didn't have to invest or contribute to our Roth IRA in order to buy back more shares. This portfolio is generating extra capital within it that does not go towards the contribution max, the contribution limit. So every year, this portfolio, I'm able to deposit $6,000 plus it creates an additional $1,000, a little over $1,000 of dividends for a max of $7,000 investment potential, which is just buying back more shares. Those shares are paying out dividends. Those dividends are buying back more shares, and the whole process just continues and continues to compound year after year after year, where eventually we'll be able to have $8,000 working for us yearly, $9,000, $10,000, and so on until we reach the age where we begin to withdraw those dividends completely tax-free. So that's where we're kind of heading there. In the next 30 years. This portfolio is just a baby right now, so this is going to definitely get built up over time. So that is the overall. Now, overall, what positions are up, what positions are down? Apple, of course, is beasting out right now, up 216.7%. This only has about $400 of actual investment capital in it, initial cost basis, and it's nearly $1,400 right now. Apple and Tesla and many others out there are just skyrocketing right now. Our worst performers, of course, are in retail, Simon Property Group, the mall REIT, Tanger Factory Outlet, another retail mall REIT, Waco Group, this is a retail shoe company, Walgreens Retail, Chevron Oil, Altria Cigarettes and Tobacco and such, Community Trust Bancorp Finance, anywhere from actually Altria and below, these companies have, a reason behind them to kind of be getting beat up here in the short term, either just because of consumers not spending money, or they're getting hit with regulations, or just oil is sort of that sector of the market that's, future potential is very low, I believe, for oil. And then we have other positions here, which, are beat up here in the short term, but could potentially recover here with time. So it's actually not a whole lot of red down towards the bottom. I can probably, a little bit more than a scroll, but our best performers are up here towards the top. Now, as far as our 1 week performance goes, we actually lost about 1% this past week, or about $241. Now, this came from our retail companies. Again, we just talked about these, Tanger Factory Outlet, the mall style real estate investment trust. We have Waco Group down here, a retail business that sells shoes. They got hit. Cardinal Health, kind of interesting to have that one be down. Maybe they had some earnings come out last week that were not positive. Main Street Capital, Community Trust Bancorp, Simon Property Group Finance. So I see some REIT, some finance, and some retail in here. And then our best performers are Apple, Lowe's. Lowe's did some really good earnings. Johnson & Johnson. I believe Lowe's also raised their dividend by 9%, so that was a really nice raise on them. And then we have our other winners there as well. And that is our activity and our performance for this past week. So from here, we're going to go ahead and jump over into, what stocks are we buying this week? And for that, I'm going to be using Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha is the tool I use to kind of keep track of what stocks are going ex-dividend here in the upcoming week or month. And in this case, 3M on the 21st, which is this past Friday, went ex-dividend. So if I look at my spreadsheet here and locate 3M, in the future, 3M, this past quarter, having sat through the ex-dividend on Friday, I'll get paid out $8.27 here. $8.27 on September 12th. So it's going to be coming up very soon, and I'll just get that dividend get paid out into the account. And there's also a few other companies that recently went ex-dividend that'll get paid out here in the future as well. But we also got a dividend raise right here. So here, if I look at Community Trust Bancorp, they recently increased their dividend from $1.52 to $1.54. That's a 1.31% dividend raise. So I'm going to go ahead and update my spreadsheet there. Whoop, I went ahead. There we go. And that we can see here, if I just highlight it, we can see here that we went from generating $1.19 to just $1.21. So not a big raise there, but I only have $28 invested on the company. So this would be a good time to invest in that. Let's see when it does go ex-dividend. It goes ex-dividend here in September. About mid-time September, it does go ex-dividend. So we'll take a look at all the positions here and see if there's any that are red, that are in the negative, that I would like to buy more of. But I think this is a good opportunity with it going ex-dividend in September. It's about a half a month away, so we can find more of this one because it is down by about 13%, and could be a good time to average down on this financial institution. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on there. So we start with J&J, not 3M. So J&J is going ex-dividend on Monday. So as you're watching this video right now, if you are a shareholder of Johnson & Johnson, I am currently a shareholder here. So if I locate J&J, which is right here, they're positive by 11.62%. By going through the ex-dividend here, I should receive $6.22, so $6.22 there, and that'll get paid out here in the future. So that one's pretty positive at the moment. We also have Waco Group. Waco Group is negative. I'm not going to be adding any more to Waco Group at this current moment. We can see here that this number right here, this is their payout ratio. This is their payout ratio. So how much of their earnings they're actually paying out to their shareholders. So right here, they're paying out, this is displaying 122.69%. That is because this past quarter, their trailing 12 months, their earnings is decreasing by quite a bit. Their revenue, I believe when I looked at their earnings, it fell by anywhere from 70 to 90%. So they are hurting right now during this time, with being shut down and just people not ordering from them and having that availability. So they are getting hurt right now in the time frame. So I'm just going to go ahead and let them sit and not add any more capital to them. Stanley Black & Decker, if you know, this one's pretty positive in the portfolio. If you guys have any that are in your portfolio, how do you invest? Do you invest in companies that are positive in your portfolio regardless of where they are at? Do you average up into your portfolio? Stanley Black & Decker is positive for me at the moment, so I'm going to leave that one alone. Realty Income is also positive. McDonald's, I'm actually interested to see where McDonald's is at. McDonald's is positive by nearly 20% there. Lockheed Martin is one of the top performers in my portfolio. Kellogg's, Avery Dennison. So Kellogg's is right there, 17.77. Avery Dennison is AVY right there. It's up 2.98%. It does have a pretty low yield, starting yield at 2.02. So this one's actually, I don't see a lot of investors buying this one just because it doesn't have the dividend growth for this one. If we look at Avery Dennison, it only has 10 years of dividend growth. Its dividend growth rate is actually pretty nice. So if you hold this one for about 6 years or so, 72 by 11 or 12, you'll get that 6-year point where your initial dividend will double. It's just that dividend yield is fairly low for buying into this one. Kimberly-Clark is pretty positive up here towards the top, 36.63%. Genuine Parts Co. So Genuine Parts, I know this company is, it's actually positive. I did not know that. I know I was averaging into this one a bit ago. I don't have a whole lot invested in this one, but it is positive, so I'll go ahead and skip it for the time being. Lancaster UGI Corporation. So what's this number here that's blanked out here? This is their yield forward, their forward yield. So UGI, where are they here? They're right there. They're negative by 2.88%. So I'll go ahead and possibly select some UGI. Altria, I'm not interested in buying any more Altria. Digital Realty Trust is positive. So CTVI. So I reached CTVI, and that was one of the ones I wanted to focus on, but I also found UGI as well. So UGI is going to be going ex-dividend on the 14th, and CTVI is going ex-dividend on the 14th. So up until the 14th of September, unless these positions go positive, which UGI may go positive here on Monday, just depending on how the market goes, we may average into UGI not only this week, because this week is the 24th of August, next week is the 31st of August, but then we have the 7th of August and potentially the 7th of September, and we add equity in the market on Friday the 11th of September. So it goes ex-dividend on the 14th, which is a Monday. So potentially we could have a few opportunities, about 3 or 4 opportunities to buy into these two positions, adding equity into these, and also lowering our unit costs, increasing our yield on costs, and increasing our overall dividend income on these two companies. So that is how I kind of take a look at which stocks I'm buying. So in this video, we're buying UGI, which is the UGI Corporation, and we're also going to be buying CTBI, which is Community Trust Bank Corp. So both of those companies here. Let's go ahead, flip back over into the portfolio, and we will go ahead and locate CTBI. Select that one. And I don't have a whole lot of capital in order to invest this week. But over time, if we invest in these over the next 3 or 4 weeks, that's going to be about $100 or $200 into each one of these. So it's 28.11 into each of these. So buy, and we're going to go ahead and hit 28.11 and continue and confirm. Community Trust Bank Corp. So now we're just looking for UGI Corp right there, and buy sell. And we're going to go ahead and just punch in the rest there, which is 28.11. Continue and confirm. And that is going to be it. So those are our two companies that we're going to be buying today. We're going to be averaging into those ones. Now if we jump back over into our stock futures and we go and do a refresh, everything's basically exactly where it was at. Hong Kong market has not yet opened. It'll open probably about 2 a.m. Pacific time. So we have a little bit under 30 minutes until this one begins to open. But we can see that the other ones, England and Germany, are moving higher from 1.5 to about 1.6 now, 1.65. So they put on about 0.10% while we were going through our video. So that is going to be it for today's video. Let me know if you are buying some of the top stocks like Apple, Google, and many other of the blue chip companies, or are you focusing on some of the smaller US public companies within the Russell 2000? You can find out which companies are inside of the Russell 2000 by heading over to CNN Money, typing in ticker symbol RUT, and if you scroll down here, you can see that there are a ton of companies here. There's 75 pages of the Russell 2000. Now you can kind of flip through all of these. I'm sure there's probably a better method of going to a page and sorting all of these out. But if you find that out, let me know down in the comment section below. I think it'd be interesting to go through some of the smaller mid-cap companies and taking a look at which ones are performing pretty bad but have really good revenue, net income, earnings per share, having some sort of a moat. They may be down here in the short term, but over the long term, they have a really good business practice, so they'll go up in the future. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, would really appreciate if you do subscribe down below to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment, let me know what stocks you're planning on buying, or if you have been buying anything. I've been really appreciating the comments that have been left lately as far as letting me know what stocks you're buying. I see a lot of activity going out there with the FANG stocks. I know in my weekly recap, one of the comments had they said that they were buying a lot of the FANG stocks, so it's kind of interesting. I think it's a great, obviously there's a lot of return being generated there. It's just very risky to be throwing capital at these high prices. But if we look back at the past 5-10 years, there's always a all-time high within these companies. And if we go back last year, we wish we had bought Apple. If we go back 2 years, we wish we had bought Apple at that price. So here, if you're buying any stock individually, if you're buying an individual company that you have not owned, but you're planning on owning for the long term, it could be worth it just to kind of buy it. And if it goes down, average down. If it goes up, great. But if you don't have that company yet, you don't know whether it's overvalued or valued. And if it does go down, you just average into it. And then with time, it recovers and goes higher. So as long as you're buying into solid companies, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate you hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.